Today we are going to learn how to solve quadratic equations by factoring. To solve by factoring, number one, you have to make sure the equation is equal to 0. Number two, you have to factor using the skills that we've learned already. And number three, use the zero product property to find the solutions. Now let's do our first example. We're going to find factors, check to see if it equals 0. And it does not. It does not equal 0. So I need to subtract 15 to make that equal 0. X squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Then I'm going to name A and B and C. Factors of A times C. That will give me a sum of B. So factors A times C and sum of B. So that means one's going to be positive, one's going to be negative because I want a negative product, and the bigger number is going to be positive. So negative 1 times positive 15 does not give me 2. Negative 3 times positive 5 does give me 2. So this is what works. Then check your A value. A is 1. So this is one that I can factor quickly. Middle variable of x minus 3 plus 5. Now you do the zero product property. So we made sure it equals 0. We factored. And now we're going to do the zero product property to get our solutions. The zero product property says if A times B equals 0, then A equals 0 or B equals 0, or they both equal 0. So A equals 0, B equals 0, and solve those. So we're going to solve. Add 3, so x equals 3, subtract 5, x equals negative 5. So my two solutions are negative 5 and positive 3. Now I want to talk to you just for a minute what this means. The solutions for a quadratic. A solution for any equation, singular equation that you're solving, is the same thing. I know that this parabola, because it's a parabola, please write this down, crosses the x-axis at negative 5 and positive 3. That's what I know from the solutions of negative 5 and positive 3. That's where that parabola crosses the x-axis. Example 2, solve by factoring. So make sure it equals 0. Subtract 5x from both sides. X squared minus 5x equals 0. Next, factor. This is not a trinomial, so I'm going to check for a greatest common factor. And I do have a greatest common factor of x. So I know I'm going to have x equals 0, x minus 5 equals 0. This one's already solved, x equals 0. Add 5 for this one, x equals 5. So the solutions for this are 0 and 5. This parabola would cross the x-axis at 0, 5. On to number 3. Solve by factoring. Now I have two things on the opposite side of the equal sign. I want to make it equal 0. I want to keep my x squared positive, my quadratic term positive. So I'm going to add 7x and subtract 5. So I have 6x squared plus 7x minus 5 equals 0. Now I'm going to name A, B, and C. A is 6, B is 7, C is negative 5. And A is not 1 on this one, so I cannot do this the quick way. I have to do it by factoring, by grouping. Factors of A times C. That will give me a sum of B. Okay, so I know that one of my factors is positive and one is negative. And I know that the smallest one has to be negative. So negative 1 times 30 is not 7 when I add them. Negative 2 times 15 is not 7 when I add. Negative 3 times 10 is 7 when I add them together. So what I do with that is I replace positive 7x with negative 3x and positive 10x. So I'm going to rewrite that as 4 terms. 6x squared minus 3x plus 10x minus 5 equals 0. Group the first two together, put a plus sign, group the last two together, equals 0. Now when we're factoring by grouping, we're looking for a greatest common factor for each pair of parentheses. The greatest common factor for the first one is 3x. You divide both of these by 3x. You get 2x minus 1. The greatest common factor for these two is 5. Divide both of these by 5. You get 2x minus 1. And then you check to make sure it worked. How you know it worked is these two binomials are the same. They have the same greatest common factor. So I'm going to rewrite 3x times the quantity 2x minus 1 plus 5 times the quantity 2x minus 1 equals 0 as 2x minus 1, that quantity, times the quantity 3x plus 5 equals 0. So we made sure it equals 0, we factored, and now we're going to do the zero product property, where you set each factor equal to 0. 2x minus 1 equals 0. 3x plus 5 equals 0. Add 1. 2x equals 1. Divide by 2. So x equals 1/2. Subtract 5. 3x equals negative 5. Divide by 3. X equals negative 5/3. So this parabola crosses the x-axis at negative 5/3 and positive 1/2. Those are the solutions to example 3. Example 4 says to solve. Now, it says to solve, do I need to factor? Let's go through and see. Does it equal 0? Yes, it does. Is it factored? How you know is, do you have a product of binomials? And yes, we do. It is factored already. And now we're going to do the zero product property, where you set each factor equal to 0. Now this one actually has 3 factors. 4 is a factor, 8x minus 1 is a factor, and 3x plus 2 is a factor. Now, if it does not have a variable, it can't have a solution. If it does not have a variable, it can't have a solution. So you just toss it out. This one has a variable, so it can have a solution, and that solution is 1/8. The second one, technically the third one, does have a variable, so it can have a solution. So x will equal negative 2/3. My two solutions are negative 2/3 and positive 1/8. And that finishes this set of notes. I hope you have a wonderful day.